Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ceremony of the fifth National Symposium on Agro-Technology and Rural Sciences 2024, proudly organized by the University of Colombo Institute for Agro-Technology and Rural Sciences. Welcome to the National Symposium on Agro-Technology and Rural Sciences 2024.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
To celebrate the pinnacle of research, innovation, and collaboration in agriculture industry. This is a valuable platform for academics, researchers, and research students to present and disseminate the knowledge and experience in diverse subject areas under the theme of sustainable development through innovative and resilient agriculture. So, ladies and gentlemen, to commence this auspicious event, we invite our distinguished guest to light the traditional of the darkness and the ushering in of wisdom and enlightenment. Please join with us this ceremonial beginning. To lighting the oil lamp, I cordially invite Professor Champati Gunatilaka, the Director of University of Colombo Institute for Agro-Technology and Rural Sciences, Dr. Nisansala Vidanapatirana, the Head of the Department of Agro-Technology, S.L. Navaratna, the Head of the Department of Food Technology, Mr. K. Singha, the Coordinator of 5th National Symposium, Mr. Chatra Madhusankar, the Secretary of 5th National Symposium, Ms. S.A.S. Priyadashani, the Senior Registrar of UCIRS, Mr. B.P. Sirivadana, the Secretary of 1st National Symposium, Mr. L.M. Rifnas, the Secretary of 2nd National Symposium, Mr. H.K.R.S. Kumara, the Secretary of 4th National Symposium, Mr. Prabhat Tindika, the Farm Manager of UCIRS, and a student representing from the UCIRS media. Thank you all. It is a great pleasure to welcome you to the National Symposium on Agro-Technology and Rural Sciences 2024. To extend our heartfelt welcome, I invite Mrs. Nelka Sirivanasinghe, our dedicated symposium coordinator, to deliver the welcome address.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and participants of NSA-TRS 2024, it is with great pleasure and honor that I welcome you all to the 5th National Symposium on Agro-Technology and Rural Sciences, NSA-TRS 2024. This year marks a significant milestone as we gather to explore the frontiers of agricultural innovation and sustainability. NSA-TRS provides a distinguished platform for researchers, scientists, academics, and students to exchange their research ideas and present their research findings. We are privileged to have with us today our esteemed chief guest, Senior Professor Chair H.D. Karunaratne, Vice Chancellor of University of Colombo, whose visionary leadership continues to shape up the academic landscape of our nation. Alongside, we are honored to welcome Professor Champathi Gunathilaka, Director of UCIRS, whose dedication to research excellence sets a benchmark for us all. Adding further distinction to our event is our guest of honor, Sri Harvindra Singh, Consul General of India, Hambantota, whose presence underscores the importance of international collaboration in advancing agricultural sciences. Our keynote speakers today are luminaries in their fields. We have the privilege of hearing from Professor Ranjit Senaratne, Chairman of the National Science Foundation and Professor Emeritus at the University of Rural, whose contribution to crop science and agriculture are truly transformative. Joining him is Dr. Vijitha Senadira, Senior Lecturer at the University of Southern Queensland, Australia, an expert in mechanical engineering, bringing a unique perspective on the intersection of technology and agriculture. We also have Dr. Mrs. Nisansala Vidhanapatirana, Head of the Department of Agro-Technology, and Ms. S.L. Navaratna, Head of the Department of Food Technology, who will share their insights and expertise with us today. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. AJM CM Sirivardhana, Secretary of the NSA TRS 2024, and all previous secretaries, including Mr. HKRS Kumara, Ms. Rushanti Chandimala, and Mr. L.M. Rifnas, and Mr. B.B. Sirivardhana, whose dedication and hard work have ensured the success of this symposium over the years. I warmly welcome all the members of the organizing committee and the technical committee who dedicated so much to the success of this event with their tireless efforts. To the member of the academic community, authors, reviewers, panel members, and all the participants, your presence and contributions are vital as we into critical discussion and exchange ideas that shape up the future of the agriculture, technology, and sustainability. I encourage everyone to engage actively, network passionately, and collaboratively, frequently throughout the NSA TRS 2024. Together, let us ignite new possibilities and pave the way for a sustainable future in agriculture. Thank you once again for being here. Let the symposium to begin. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. And we are honored to have with us being force behind this conference. Please join me in welcome Professor, the Director of UCIRS and Symposium Chairman, to deliver the inauguration remarks.
Good morning. Senior Professor H.D. Karunaratne, Vice Chancellor, University of Colombo, Board of Management of UCIRS, Emeritus Professor Ranjit Senanayake, Chairman, National Science Foundation, Dr. Vijitha Senadira, Senior Lecturer, University of Southern Queensland, Australia, Mr. Sri Harvindra Singh, Consul General of India, Hambantota, Ms. Nelka Sarnasivardhana, Symposium Coordinator, Mr. Chatura Sirivardhana, Symposium Secretary, Dr. Nisansala Vidhanapatirana, Head of the Department of Agro-Technology, Ms. Supipi Navaratna, Head of the Department of Technology, Sagrika Piyadarshani, SAR, academic staff, non-academic staff, guests, students, and participants. As the Director of University of Colombo, Institute of Agro-Technology and Rural Science, I am delighted to honor to address 4th Virtual National Symposium on Agro-Technology and Rural Sciences 2024. Our theme for this year is sustainable development through innovative resilient agriculture. This is a timely required theme. So these days, spending very hard time for the university system in Sri Lanka. However, we are able to organize this event successfully by the support of academic and non-academic staff of the UCIRS. UCIR is the only institute, we all, I think some of may know, some of may not know, is that provide the advanced technological education to the farming and agro entrepreneurs, regardless of factors such as age, educational background, and time constraints. UCIRS was also aimed to offer educational opportunities to young rural farmers who were unable to pursue traditional higher education due to the various social and economic constraints. A key aspiration of the institute was to empower farmers and youngsters in Sri Lanka to the modern agriculture technology. Evaluate the agriculture is more esteemed occupation. So that is our main objective of our institute. So that other thing, the recent research indicate that stagnation of agriculture production, growth, major grain crops yield. Actually, it is growing in major grain crop yield is 1%. But we all know that the growth of the population in world, it is 2%. It's a crop grown in 1%, population growth is 2%. So then what happened, that definitely the hunger will come in some part of the world due to this growth rate. But other thing, compared to the global population growth rate, actually that rise in global population requiring more land for the settlement. Therefore, expanding the cultivation area meet food demand is not possible currently and not feasible. Furthermore, the factors such as contributing to the reduced agriculture food production. Therefore, the enhancing agriculture productivity, yes, enhancing the agriculture productivity only way to treat it. That is the main requirement actually in present situation. That is our main target of this symposium also. So finally, I extend my heartfelt appreciation and congratulations to the organizing committee and keynote speakers, paper presenters, and participants of this symposium. So I wish everyone to have a great day-to-day time. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you, sir. Now it's my privilege to invite Professor Champati Gunathilaka to present and invite our respected chief guest, Senior Professor Cha H.D. Karunaratne, Vice Chancellor, the University of Colombo, to address the gathering.
Yes, thank you. 31 years of service in academia and his professional career by September 2021. Additionally, he serves as the director of the Institute of Human Resource Advancement, IHRA, University of Colombo, and he is the chairman of Governing Council of the Institute of Policy Studies, the vice president of the Sri Lanka Economic Association, 2018 to up to date, the president of the Japanese Graduates Alumni Association of Sri Lanka, 2012 to 2014 and 2018 to up to date now. He also held many academic positions during his academic career, include lecturer, associate professor, professor, and senior professor. In April 2022, Professor Karunaratne was elected as a Vice Chancellor of University of Colombo. And under his visionary leadership, the university has been remarkable advancement in academic excellence. One of his significant achievement is leading the University of Colombo to be ranked among the top 1,000 universities in globally for the first time in history, according to the QS World University Ranking. This milestone score the university's commitment to the maximizing the highest standards of the education and research. The University's Colombo is being the largest and foremost university in Sri Lanka currently. He has flourished under Professor Karunaratne's guidance. Actually, university is poised under Professor Karunaratne's guidance. His dedication to the fostering academic growth and innovation has been key in achieving these historical accomplishments. So with further accommodation, I invite Senior Professor H.D. Karunaratne to deliver his speech. This stage is yours, sir. Thank you.
Your mic off.
Muted.
Very good morning to all. Thank you very much for the introduction. Professor Champati Gunathilaka, Chairman of the 5th National Conference and Director of the Institute of Agro-Technology and Rural Sciences in the University of Colombo. I hope I am audible now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, right. Delighted to address you, very important day. The keynote speaker, Professor Ranjit and all other keynote speakers. Thank you very much for participating today's international conference. This is the starting point of a national and international conference of the University of Colombo. Annually, as you all are aware, that we have 19 entities in the University of Colombo. Annually, each and every institute continuously conducting national and international symposiums. This year, it is supposed to be 21 international conferences or national conferences to held in the University of Colombo. So this is the first conference in this year starting, and our final annual research symposium going to held on November 5th, incorporating all the faculties and institutes. So the recent progress in research development, networking with universities and concerning on environmental sustainability, the University of Colombo could go further. With the 14,000 free education students, we were ranked as 951 university under the 51st university under the US ranking from 4th June 2024 to the June 2025. So our ranking, we always accept because around 880 academia in the University of Colombo, they annually publish about 640 SCI journal articles, and they hard work, and we closely, from the 2022, we closely monitor Google Scholar page of each and every academic in the University of Colombo. So, and we report their progress every 3 months' time to the Dean's Committee and the Council. So this recent progress of research monitoring and supporting, and of course the University of Colombo foster researching and community and business linkages as much as possible. Now, since the 2022, we initiated new program. If each and every department publishing any academic journal, that 500,000 from the university giving grant for that department. So as a result, new 9 journals came in the last year from the University of Colombo. So because I realized that being the most premier academic institute, we need more journals. At that time, there were only 8 journals in the University of Colombo. Now we have, I think, more than 16 journals in our website. So we are promoting publication and conducting researches. And being the only one university as a member in Asian University Alliance, which consists from the best 15 universities in Asia, including Singapore National University, University of Tokyo, IIT Bombay, and many other universities. So University of Colombo recently entered into many MOUs with these Asian universities. I hope that the Institute of Agro-Technology and Rural Sciences will also reach this connection very soon. Honghe University in China agreed to give another agricultural laboratory to this institute in very recently. So we will be able to have more progress in research in agriculture and rural sciences in future, because connecting to the world is the one of the most important things for any university today, since our resources are getting limited, as you discussed in this today's international seminar, national forum on sustainable development through innovative and resilient agriculture. The resources are getting limited more and more. Then, of course, population is growing. By 2050, the global population going to be 9 billion. Meanwhile, the number of other avenues for production not much expanding, as Professor Champath explain. So therefore is essential. So in that line, of course, the productivity improvement, new technology, new ways of producing smart agriculture. There are various things. I think the keynote speakers will explain all these things. It is very important, particularly in Sri Lanka. We know we have enough land, enough rain, enough water, but ultimately our production still not sufficient to self-sufficient, at least for Sri Lanka. We are importing a large number of products which we can produce in Sri Lanka. So this is the serious issue with respect to Sri Lanka. Therefore, I hope that this institute can play a vital role in future, connecting with the other global institute in future. So I don't want to take much time. I wish you all the best, and particularly I should thank Professor Champathi Gunathilaka and all Ranjit Senaratne, Professor Ranjit Senaratne, and all agreeing to help us to conduct this nationally important activity. I'm sure that the presenters today will publish their articles in journals and use it in practical manner for policy formulation in future. So therefore, I congratulate for all the paper presenters today, and develop your papers and bring more credentials to the university and bring more practical results to the country. Thank you very much.
Our first keynote speech is expected to be a highlight of today's symposium. To welcome our first keynote speaker, Professor Ranjit Senaratne, Chairman of the National Science Foundation and Professor Emeritus in the Department of Crop Science, Faculty of Agriculture, University of Ruhuna. I invite Ms. Kasni Katpearachi to the stage.
Thank you, Ms. Sajani. Good morning, all. It is with a great pleasure and deep sense of honor to introduce keynote speaker of the symposium, the distinguished scholar and the eminent leader in the field of agriculture and higher education, Professor Ranjit Senaratne. Professor Senaratne, Emeritus Professor of Department of Crop Science at Faculty of Agriculture, University of Ruhuna, brings over 40 years of experience in higher education. His career extends across teaching, research, administration, and community development. He has held several senior administrative positions with excellence for over 20 years, including Dean of Faculty of Agriculture, Vice Chancellor of University of Ruhuna, Chairman of Committee of Vice Chancellors and Directors, Chairman of the Ocean University, Vice Chairman of the University Grant Commission, and General President of Sri Lankan Association for the Advancement of Science in 2023. Currently, he serves as the Chairman of the National Science Foundation. As a Vice Chancellor of the University of Ruhuna, Professor Senaratne demonstrated a steadfast commitment to promoting academic excellence, high-impact research, creative enterprise, strategic partnership with industry, community development, and international cooperation. In recognition of his excellent contribution to education, science, community development, and international cooperation, the University of Durham, UK awarded him an honorary doctorate in 2007. His career is marked by many awards, including internationally competitive research grants from the Board on Science and Technology for International Development of the National Research Council of the USA. He has held several coveted fellowships such as Andrew Mayo Fellowship of FAO and Marie Curie Fellowship of European Community. He is a fellow of the National Academy of Sciences has authored over 100 research communications and papers in addition to writing and editing more than 10 books related to agriculture, higher education, science and technology, and national development. A visionary leader and the institutional builder, Professor Senaratne, has provided a strategic, inspirational, and operational leadership to higher education institutions. We are indeed fortunate to have such a distinguished and accomplished individual with us today. So please join me in extending a warm welcome to Professor Ranjit Senaratne to deliver the keynote speech. Dear sir, over to you.
Good morning. Audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning. Senior Professor H.D. Karunaratne, Vice Chancellor, University of Colombo, Mr. Sri Harendra Singh, Consul General of India, Hambantota, Dr. Vijita Senadir, Senior Lecturer, University of Southern Queensland, Australia, Professor Champat Gunatilaka, Symposium Chair, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. It affords me great pleasure to be associated with this important event organized by the Institute of Agro-Technology Rural Sciences, Institute of University of Colombo. And I wish to thank the organizing committee for the opportunity afforded. Today, I will be speaking about sustainable agriculture through innovation and resilience. Not that Dr. Vijit Senadir also delivering a keynote address. So in order to avoid duplication, I may reduce the technical details associated with the subject so that I could share with you some of basic guidelines, also the perspective related to sustainable agriculture through innovation and resilience. Why is it moving? Why not moving? Small technical glitch, just 1 minute. Why is it not moving? Sorry for the technical issue. I wish to briefly touch upon the present status of agriculture. As you are aware, now we have actually passed more than 75 years after independence. And despite good climate and soil conditions, and rich diversity and hydraulic civilization, we still import major foods, as Vice Chancellor also underlined, costing more than $1.5 to $2 billion annually. If you look at Netherlands, which is 60% size of Sri Lanka, only having about 5 months cold climate, yet they are the second largest export of agriculture produce in the world, and the total value is much higher than the GDP. Our GDP is about 80 billion. The export revenue from agriculture is 100 billion. Also, if you look at Israel, their annual precipitation is less than 600 millimeters per year. And Sri Lanka, if our rainfall is less than 1,750 millimeters per year, we call it dry zone. Yet Israel produces the highest milk yield in the world, around 30 liters, average 30 liters. Some cows even yield 40 liters per day, whereas our average is 4 liters or even less than 4. The slide is not moving. See, why so? So sorry for this technical issue. I will not go for the slide, this presentation mode. I will use this mode. As you know, agriculture in Sri Lanka occupies 40% of land area, about 2.3 million hectares, and consumes 80% of freshwater resources. That is substantial amount, 80%. And 25% of workforce engage in agriculture, yet its contribution is 7% to GDP. So it's a very small contribution given the resource allocated to agriculture. We have 3.3 million holdings and 45% less than quarter of an acre, according to the survey done in 2002. Now it is more fragmented, and 80% of production in the hands of small holders with low productivity. It's again problem. If you look at this Malaysian agriculture, you see their GDP, contribution to GDP is 8%, and labor force is only 11%. In Sri Lanka, with 26% of labor force contributing only about 7%. It shows that our labor productivity in agriculture is very low. On the other hand, we are carrying a lot of excess baggage. So if we improve productivity of our labor force, we should be able to jettison about 1 million of into other sectors like manufacturing and sewage sector. But we need to retool and skill the excess labor in agriculture to be absorbed by the other two sectors. So we need to have really proper labor migration policy urgently in order to release this excess baggage from agriculture. If you look at some major issues in our domestic agriculture, high risk and uncertainty, low and stagnant yield. Now our rice yield is about 4.5 tons, whereas in China 6.3 and in Australia 10 tons per hectare. Low resource use efficiency, water, land, fertilizer, pesticides, drastic price fluctuation, heavy post-harvest losses, heavy water, carbon, and biological footprint, and inequitable distribution benefit. Farmers are getting really a pro deal. When you look at this agriculture, you see it is releasing 10 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. So we have the energy sector, industry, the next highest is agriculture sector. So we need to be eco-friendly. That is the message here. We want to get in order to make agriculture sustainable, we need to really make it eco-friendly. So the motto of agriculture in the 21st century should be more productive. As mentioned by your symposium chair, we need to increase agricultural production in order to meet the growing population at least by 60 to 70%. But it has to be done with less resources, less water, less fertilizer, less pesticide, less greenhouse gases, less energy, less labor, and less pollution, and also have to be more resilient and more profitable and more productive. For this, our agriculture should be tech-savvy and demands naturally a system change. When you look at the technology landscape, we know we had first industrial revolution 1780. Now 2020, some countries in the fourth industrial revolution stage, some in the fifth. But our country, most of the industries are still in the second phase. This you may have seen, but I want to get this message across. If this 1900, if one goes to bed and wake up 1950, will not observe much difference. But if one goes to bed in 2000 and wake up 2050, she will not be able to really believe eyes. She will be flabbergasted because of the exponential increase of innovation, technology development taking place at an insane pace. But if we look at this science and technology, no doubt it has undoubtedly made an inestimable contribution to humanity and civilization. But also there are unintended consequences. If you look at our green revolution, which was aimed at increasing food production in the world, but it has caused environmental issues and numerous health. Also technology, industrial development, plastic, it was considered miracle material, but now it has become a disaster. So when we apply science to address one problem, it could create number of other wicked and unintended consequences. So this need to be considered when we develop new technologies. Therefore, we need to really look fresh in at our agricultural landscape. So in addition to climate change and serious environmental health issues associated with agriculture, technological landscape in agriculture rapidly changing, markets becoming increasingly globalized, sophisticated, dynamic, and competitive, consumer becoming increasingly health conscious, and stringent control on food quality, safety, hygiene by importing countries. So now we come to the sustainability. As you know, sustainability, this concept was introduced in 1987. Almost 40 years old concept, but precious little being done on this. Lot of lip service, there's great deal of media hype on sustainability, but practically precious little has been done over years. It's a complex, multifaceted phenomenon, mainly environmental, social, and financial dimensions. I don't want to get into details because we have been discussing sustainability over the past almost 40 years. So it has these economic factors, social and environmental. Ultimately, if we only hear the sustainable food system. Only here we have to really focus on this is where. So multitude of factors involved, and we had to work together in a harmonious manner in order to achieve sustainability. Here, key principles improve efficiency in the use of resources, conserve, protect, and enhance natural resources, protect and improve rural livelihood, equity, and social well-being, enhance resilience of people, communities, and ecosystems, and responsible and effective governance and mechanism. You see, in sectors when players involved in achieving sustainability. If I attempt to give just a short description as to how we should set about. Now, you see, in agriculture, we do a lot of things in an ad hoc manner. If we want to really put up a building, if a multi-story building, we do soil testing and ultimately lay the foundation according to the requirements. Even going for marriages, we say compatibility, check horoscope for compatibility. But when it comes to agriculture, very little attention is paid to ecological suitability and match the crop requirement with the climate and soil. We often see that when the rubber becoming uneconomical, people uproot rubber and plant cinnamon, but they don't look at the suitability of that land and the climate in the area for cinnamon. So this stuff, ad hoc agriculture in Sri Lanka has made it very, very vulnerable to climate change. And also we have to improve diversity. Now we have mainly monocropping. Earlier we had multiple cropping, home gardens, agroforest system. Now we have actually, because of mechanization and so on, people now using monocropping. We have to introduce this diversity. That is very, very important. We have large number of fruit species, 125, vegetables, 50, green vegetables, also 40, another 150 herbal plants. So we need to incorporate into our production system. So in order to develop resilient system, we have to develop resilient varieties which are resistant to water, heat, even submergence and disease and so on through breeding and biotechnology. And development of early maturing, short duration varieties. Here it is also very important to train farmers. Now we have 2 million farmers. It is humanly impossible to train them. We have to really identify promising, enterprising farmers and then train them and then really get them to do this agriculture, and excess farmers should be, marginal farmers should be really jettisoned and should be absorbed in other sectors through reskilling and retooling. I want to highlight this now for sustainability. Water is becoming a crucially important factor. When you look at this projected water scarcity 2025, you see global south having more proportionate share, economic scarcity or physical scarcity. And only Sri Lanka here and few countries in Latin America having this adequate water resources. But as here you see, many countries above Sri Lanka suffer from or affected by water scarcity. So this is also for us. You know, even Sri Lanka, this Mavilaru, this war erupted because of this water issue, because of blocking Mavil Can. So that even these water conflicts can be weaponized. In time to come, even there could be hydropolitical issues leading to triggering water wars. So we have to use water very effectively and efficient manner. But if we look at the research in our country, you see now paddy. It is grown in over 20 districts and about 850,000 hectares. Yield from 7 0.5 tons. But whether produces 2.5 or 7.5 tons per hectare, both fields use more or less same amount of water, fertilizer, pesticide, fuel, labor, etc. As you know, we use about 150 centimeter deep column of water for paddy, not because paddy needs water to control weeds. So to produce 1 kilogram of rice, we are spending nearly 2,000 liters of water, which is not sustainable. So we need to really, if we want to really make agriculture sustainable, we have to change the way we grow paddy. But areas, we have to identify areas which are most suitable, most productive for paddy, and then concentrate on this area. Actually, it has been clearly established, even we confine paddy cultivation to dry zone, we would be able to meet the national demand if we really do it properly. Of course, we can have some paddy in the wet zone for food security, but this is very important. So we need to really pay due attention to this using water in efficient manner, which is crucially important for sustainability. Now we get to resilience. Now resilience, as you know, is the ability to really bounce back to original state after encountering shocks or negative impact. This is again is multifaceted, multi-dimensional issue. There are about large number of internal factors, external factors. So we need to really look at what are vulnerabilities in the system, then use the adaptation process and transformation. So this is very, very important in order to build resilient agriculture. I'll give few examples there. We need to, as mentioned before, we have to have really diversity in this system. Diversity is a major element that is required, whether it is sustainability or resilience or innovation. Diversity is a common thread running through all these. Now, to innovation. Come to innovation, there are two contributory factors, that is disciplinary diversity and technological diversity. Now, even our universities, Mr. Vice Chancellor, you see our very little interaction between faculties. We mainly work in silos or cocoons with hardly any interaction. The problems we have to tackle are complex, multifaceted. So we need interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary approach. So if you want to have innovation, we need to have this, we have to bring down walls and work across disciplinary boundaries, and then technological diversity, confluence of variety of technologies required in order to bring about innovation. Just to drive home that point, you may have heard of the Medici effect. That was in the 13th and 17th, between this period, they are the very rich, wealthy family, Medici family, really under its patronage brought poets, philosophers, scientists, painters, and artisans from around Europe to Florence. And ultimately, that led to Renaissance period. One of the most creative eras of Europe. They are, by bringing talented people together and allowing them to collaborate, really brought about this Renaissance. Ultimately, that led to Medici effect by Franz Johansson. Then Steve Jobs, he really, his team had only musicians, poets, no computer scientists involved, but they turn out to be best computer scientists in the world. So that is where the diversity is very, very, very important. So we need to really work across disciplinary boundaries in order to achieve innovation. Now, we have now, as I mentioned before, there is really explosion of new technologies, and we have this biotech, nanotech, electronics, mechanical, ICT. Now with 4IR, we have artificial intelligence, big data, robotics, virtual reality, this in blockchain and so on. Also now we have electronic tongue, electronic nose. Earlier we used to use for tea tasting, you have tea testers. So they check the quality and say whether it is good or it is bad. But now we have electronic tongue, electronic nose to check the organoleptic properties. But here what I want to mention is, now see, by looking this biotech and nanotech together produce pharmaceuticals with greater efficacy. This combination of technologies for chemical engineering and nanotech led to production of slow-release fertilizer. So that is very, very important that we should have disciplines, diversity of technologies in order to bring about whether it is sustainability, resilience, or innovation. I will not deal with this in detail because Dr. Senadar will deal it, but artificial intelligence in agriculture actually really this has transformed the way farmers monitor and manage their crops. This can be used effectively to improve resource use efficiency, provide early warning against pests and diseases, automate farming activities, optimize yield and quality, reduce waste, and ensure delivery of safe and nutritious food to consumer. These are some examples about use of artificial intelligence and new technology in precision agriculture and control environment agriculture, where we could be able to reduce carbon footprint, ecological footprint, water footprint, and yet produce yields 50 to 100 times higher than under normal farming conditions and less post-harvest losses. This captures the what I mentioned there, this schematic diagram. Then I get to this one, herd technology. I think because of this wide biological diversity, Sri Lanka has a lot of potential to produce green cosmeceuticals, nutraceuticals, and nutricosmetics. And there's a growing market for these substances, products in the world market. And you could see how the demand is increasing for these products. And also now globally, this is technology. We have polos here, this young jackfruit. See the global market, 40 billion pounds market for polos. And now there's a great tendency to go vegetarian because beef or red meat consumption leads to release of large amount of greenhouse gases to the environment, as you could see that. So this is where Sri Lanka could really work on this type of crops to produce substitute for beef and also other types of red meat. Then this is another slide I want to really draw your attention to. We have a cultural heritage, and so this nutraceuticals is again a very important area for agriculture and can do a lot. It's an untapped area with huge potential. Then ocean farming. We only work on in the land, but we have water body or marine area 8 times the size of land mass, which we can use to grow seaweeds or even have mussels, oysters, and other types of seafood. So this is an area which we need to focus on. Finally, now Sri Lanka, so that we are, with regard to productivity, very low. But Sri Lankans, who are abroad, doing extremely well, outsmarting many other ethnic communities. Now, this is a study done by a global institution. Average mental health, it says Sri Lanka is second in the world. Europe and North America, they are actually, in regard to mental health, far below Sri Lanka. So we are mentally actually very strong. That is very important for innovation. And next slide. Sri Lankan Americans, the fourth richest ethnic group in the USA, much richer than white Americans. You could see here the Indian Americans, the highest, and Sri Lankan ones here, 74,000. You see white American, $59,000 their annual revenue. We see now Sri Lankans are doing it. So we have the entrepreneurial spirit. We have also the this is a good mental health. So we should be able to really deliver if we create right conditions. That is, I think this type of conferences also try to enlighten our scientists and other planners on the way forward. Then I spend just few minutes on this Valigatha. Vice Chancellor also mentioned about it. I think because you all are familiar with the sustainability, resilience, innovation, so on. But I think this merits attention. So I thought of spending few minutes on this. I really like this Valigatha campus. In fact, I have been associated with this for some time. Sri Lanka, we have 10 faculties of agriculture, around 10 faculties of agriculture. But Valigatha campus is not just another one. It stands out from the rest. How? It is the only campus or the institution that admits students with background in and passionate commitment to agriculture. Now, other faculties of agriculture, they have gone to agriculture because they are first or second preference. Other fields, such as agriculture, probably 9th or 10th preference. So here, that's why they have no real affinity. They have applied for other fields, medicine, dental, vet, and microbiology, biochemistry, biotechnology, so on. Many have been dragged into agriculture, but very few really want to do agriculture as their first preference. But here it is different. Those who have real affinity for agriculture get in there. Then throughout their degree program, they are immersed in an agriculture vibrant environment with close interaction with farmers, traders, other key stakeholders. So they are really exposed to real world issues. That is, I think, we cannot expect that type of exposure in other faculties. And no interruption of the academic program activities due to student unrest and protest. And also graduates produced are well-rounded and well-grounded with requisite competencies. They have a good grasp of ground realities. And other faculties of agriculture, actually I am from Peradeniya, Faculty of Agriculture. We have learned a lot from Peradeniya. And also I am Dean at the Faculty of Agriculture University of Ruhuna. But here what I want to say is, here now, there are students after graduation, they don't want to really go to agriculture, only very few. Others go for other sectors. And there's a popular saying that agriculture graduates do everything other than agriculture. It's not really true, but I to get to my point. But here, all graduates really who are passing out from this institute go back to agriculture, and they afford a new boost and dimension to take agriculture to high level. And they, in fact, emerge as role models. And they have no question of unemployment or underemployment. They don't picket or they don't protest as jobs. So this institution, as it shows promise as a regional or national capacity building facility for training, retraining, reskilling and retooling, enterprising farmers, entrepreneurs, and the like, in order to keep them abreast of smart agriculture. Therefore, I think some interventions may be necessary. Probably they had to really, you saw that diversity is very important for innovation and resilience or sustainability, even for institution that applies. So when we recruiting staff, I think it will be good to get engineers, those who are competent in mathematics, even ICT, so that it will become a melting pot and establishment of links with the Chamber of Commerce research institutions, even community-based organizations like Sarvodaya, I think could really further strengthen. I see that this institution, even I think institutions like NSF will be happy to work together with the management there, even with the University of Colombo, see how we could contribute to capacity building of this institution through external funding and also developing linked programs with foreign universities and institutions committed to agriculture and also rural development. So I consider this institution as an unpolished gem, but when polished, it could even become the crown jewel of University of Colombo. I repeat that this is an unpolished gem which could even become crown jewel of University of Colombo. If Vice Chancellor is still there, I would like to even discuss with you, Mr. Vice Chancellor, how we could work together to afford a new dimension, new direction to this institution, propelling it to great height. I think that is really a very valuable institution. So again, thank you for this opportunity and wishing this greatest to all the success. I conclude my address. Thank you.
Sir, we now invite you to join us in a brief clip that highlights the extraordinary journey of UCIRS, highlighting our accomplishments and milestones over the years.
The University of Colombo, Institute for Agro-Technology and Rural Sciences. Hambantota is a charming location on Sri Lanka's southern coast, which is surrounded by the enormous Indian Ocean. The natural wonders of Yala National Park and Bundala National Park, which are close by, draw the attraction of Hambantota. When Bundala, a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, is praised for its birdlife and distinctive wetland habitats, while Yala is well known for its leopard population and other fauna. Under sections 24A and 18 of the Universities Act No. 16 of 1978, the University of Colombo, Institute for Agro-Technology and Rural Sciences, was founded in 1998 as an institution that offers higher education to the farming community, irrespective of age, geography, time, and academic background. In 2000, the UGC affiliated Magampura Agro-Technology and Community Services Center in Valigatha, Hambantota was merged into the institute system. Currently, the institute educates over 1,000 undergraduates. We held 7 convocations throughout this time span, graduating hundreds of agricultural students. Many of these graduates hold top positions in agriculture, both locally and internationally. The rest of the grads host their names as entrepreneurs and innovators throughout the world. The vision of UCIRS is to become the most sought after and most outstanding educational institution dedicated to entrepreneurial agriculture, and sustainable natural resource management in Sri Lanka. The UCIRS provides the most serene and tranquil learning atmosphere for its pupils. Under the creative direction of its distinguished director, Professor Champathy, UCIRS is committed to stimulating agro-technological advances and sustainable rural development. UCIRS is divided into two independent but supportive